Hello everyone, good evening. We have 30 minutes of news packed for you in the next 30 minutes on India 360. From the political tutu meme in Delhi and Maharashtra over pollution and Bollywood to Rajinikanths possibly launching his own party in February before the assembly elections to why Tamils are up in arms over a biopic on Muthaiya Muralitharan. Let's start though by taking the Lord's name. After the Ram Janmabhoomi verdict, now the Krishna Janmabhoomi is in the middle of a Mandir Masjid controversy. A Mathura court has admitted a plea seeking the removal of a mosque which is situated adjacent to the Krishna Janmabhoomi. Last month, if you remember, a Mathura civil court had dismissed a suit that was filed to remove the Eidgah mosque, alleging that it was built over the Krishna Janmabhoomi land. However, importantly, a body of priests in the temple town have condemned the filing of this petition, and they are saying that it is some outsiders who are trying to disturb peace in Mathura by raising a Mandir Masjid issue now. The court will now hear the matter on November 18th. Let me go straight across to Nitin Gautam, who is joining us live from Mathura. नितिन, एक बार बताइए कि एक कोर्ट था मथुरा में पिछले महीने, उन्होंने बोला इस सूट में, इस केस में कोई दम नहीं है, इसको बाहर फेंकते हैं। अब एक दूसरा कोर्ट है मथुरा में, इस कोर्ट को उन लोगों ने एडमिट कर लिया है। किस बेसिस पे एडमिट किया है, ये केस फाइल किया किसने है, और जो पंडित लोग हैं मथुरा के, वो लोग ये क्यों बोल रहे हैं कि ये बिल्कुल फालतू की मंदिर मस्जिद विवाद खड़े करने की बात है?
देखिए, हम अपने दर्शकों को बताना चाहेंगे कि ये वाद जो है अधिवक्ता हैं श्री कृष्ण जन्म स्थान के जो विराजमान श्री कृष्ण विराजमान जो है, उन्होंने इस बात को दायर किया है, और लखनऊ के और दिल्ली के अधिवक्ता हैं जिनकी ओर से ये वाद दायर किया गया था। सीनियर सिविल जज जो सीनियर डिवीजन है उसकी अदालत में बात दायर किया गया था। न्यायालय में 3 जो आधार थे उसके आधार पर इस बात को खारिज किया गया था, जिसमें सबसे पहला था राइट टू स्यू, कि इन लोगों को वाद दायर करने का अधिकार नहीं है। दूसरा, न्यायालय ने एक पक्ष माना था कि 1967 में श्री कृष्ण जन्मभूमि और शाही ईदगाह के बीच में एक समझौता हुआ था, जिसके आधार पर श्री कृष्ण जन्म स्थान को शाही ईदगाह ने कुछ जमीन का हिस्सा दिया था, और उसमें हाई कोर्ट में एक निर्णय हुआ था कि इस समझौते के बाद कोई भी इसमें वाद दाखिल नहीं करेगा दोनों पक्षों की ओर से। और साल में ये 2 बार जो ईद की नमाज जो है वो मुस्लिम पक्षकार शाही ईदगाह में पढ़ सकते हैं। उसी समझौते का अनुपालन आज तक होता आ रहा था। हाँ। लेकिन श्री कृष्ण विराजमान की ओर से इसका कहा गया कि दोनों ट्रस्टियों ने मिली भगत कर इस समझौते को किया है, जिसके आधार पर यह फैसला गलत है। लिहाजा इस सब को देखते हुए अदालत ने खारिज किया था, लेकिन जिला जज ने इस सारे मामले को और इन सारी दलीलों को इन्होंने माना, और आज उन्होंने इस बात को जो है स्वीकृत कर लिया है, एडमिट कर लिया, और इसमें 18 नवंबर की डेट जो है लगाई है। अब उसमें अदालत ने चारों जो पक्षकार हैं जो श्री कृष्ण विराजमान ने अपने याचिका में बनाए हैं, उसमें नोटिस जारी करेगा और उनको 18 नवंबर को अपना जवाब देना होगा। जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद नितिन हमारे साथ मथुरा से जुड़ने के लिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच। वी आर शिफ्टिंग आवर फोकस नाउ टू द नेशनल कैपिटल। व्हाट causes Delhi NCRs pollution? The Supreme Court and the Aam Aadmi Party government are saying it is stubble burning in Punjab, Haryana and UP, but Prakash Javadekar, the Union Environment Minister, is saying that it is just 4% of the problem, that stubble burning is just 4% of Delhi's problem. The Supreme Court, though, appointed a retired judge, Justice Madan B. Lakur, to monitor stubble burning in Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh amidst rising pollution levels in the capital and surrounding areas. Calling it a public health emergency, the top court has directed all authorities in these 3 states and the Environment Pollution Authority to report to Justice Lokur-led committee. The next hearing on the case has been scheduled on October 26th. This is coming even as the political war of words between the centre and the Delhi government continues.
पर्यावरण मंत्री हैं प्रकाश जावड़ेकर जी, उन्होंने साफ तौर पर ये कहा है कि दिल्ली में प्रदूषण बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ा है, 50 टीमें हम वहाँ से निकाल रहे हैं, लेकिन दिल्ली में सरकार, आप भी लगातार ये कह रहे हैं कि पराली जो जल रही है बहुत नुकसान कर रही है दिल्ली को।
ये आकलन वैज्ञानिक करते हैं, ये साइंटिफिक आकलन होता है, हमारे और प्रकाश जावड़ेकर जी के कहने से कुछ नहीं होता है। लेकिन मेरे मन में एक प्रश्न है, उसका भी उत्तर प्रकाश जावड़ेकर जी को जरूर देना चाहिए कि 15 दिन पहले दिल्ली के लोग वही थे, दिल्ली से पैदा होने वाला प्रदूषण के सारे स्रोत भी वही थे। तो 15 दिन पहले जो प्रदूषण था उसका लेवल नॉर्मल था। 15 दिन में दिल्ली वालों ने ऐसा क्या काम कर दिया एक्स्ट्रा जिसकी वजह से प्रदूषण लेवल इतना बढ़ गया? और मुझे लगता है कि केंद्रीय सरकार को, प्रकाश जावड़ेकर जी को इसको प्रोत्साहन करना चाहिए। लेकिन उसकी जगह केंद्र सरकार जो हरियाणा पंजाब से जो पैदा हो रही पराली है, वहाँ की सरकारें उसको रोकने में जो असफल हो रही हैं, उसका प्रवक्ता बनना वो ठीक नहीं लगता है।
दिल्ली में प्रदूषण की स्थिति सर्दी के दिनों में हमेशा गंभीर होती है। पराली का आज का पोल्यूशन का लोड 10% है, 3%। अभी तो केवल 4% लोड पराली का है, तो 96% प्रदूषण लोकल फैक्टर्स से है। 50 टीमें 50 गाड़ियों में घूमेगी, जगह जगह जाएगी, जहां बर्निंग हो रहा है वो भी नोट करेगी, और ये सब आपको अधिकार है कानूनी कि आप इसके खिलाफ रिपोर्ट देंगे तो उस पर सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई करेंगे।
Let's go across to Anumita Roy Chaudhary. She's the Executive Director of the Research and Advocacy CSC. She's joining us on Zoom. Reena Gupta is an Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. Thank you, ladies, very much. We'll have a quick chat on this. Reena, I'm coming to you first. Irrespective of what the Supreme Court is saying, Prakash Javadekar is saying that the contribution of parali or stubble burning to Delhi's pollution is only 4 to 5%. And that the Aam Aadmi Party doesn't want to take responsibility for local factors, which is why the entire blame is put on neighboring states.
Shreya, this happens every year. And, I'm used to coming on these TV programs every year. It's the same blame game. But last year, CPCB, which is a body which is governed by the central government, they said that the contribution of parali is up to 44%. So it varies during the season. But besides parali also, Shreya, there are several studies, and I just want to quote one study which Terry came out in 2018, which said that 64% of the PM2.5 in Delhi actually comes from sources which are outside Delhi. So instead of playing this blame game, why can't the union government get all the states together and look for a solution? In Delhi, we've shut down all our power plants. We've given 24/7 electricity. We've started using clean fuel. But unless these steps are also taken in Punjab, Haryana, UP and Rajasthan, there is only so much Delhi can do. And, Anumita ji is on the program with me. Last year, CSC had come out with a report saying that the Delhi pollution is down by 25%. But the point is that air pollution does not recognize state boundaries.
Okay.
It's only the union government that can get all the states together. Just a few days ago, EPCA passed an order saying that diesel generators need to be stopped in on the NCR states. But Haryana, there are societies in Gurgaon and Faridabad which are only running on diesel. They're not even connected to the grid. So, you can keep saying, why is the Delhi government not doing this, not doing that? We understand the expectations from Delhi government are very high because we are the only ones who deliver. But that's not fair to the citizens of Delhi.
Okay. See, I think the problem also lies in India's federal structure. It is our biggest strength, but sometimes it becomes a weakness. The central government is BJP, Delhi is Aam Aadmi Party, Punjab is Congress, Haryana is BJP again. Anumita, I'll not talk to you about that. I want to ask you what we should believe. We have Prakash Javadekar who's telling us Delhi's pollution, only 4% of the problem is paralis or stubble burning. We have the Aam Aadmi Party here. In fact, we also have the Supreme Court here saying that a large chunk of the problem is stubble burning, almost 44%. What do we believe?
Let's look at the science first. And science is very clear on this. We have continuous source of emissions and we have episodic source of pollution. Stubble burning is episodic.
Correct.
It happens during this time of the year. And depending on the speed and direction of the wind, it will depend how much stubble is contributing to Delhi's air quality. And SAFAR estimate shows it can vary between 4% to 30%. But that's not every day. And that's only during the time when parali is getting burnt. But also keep in mind that this whole science of transboundary movement of pollution, there's so much pollution coming from outside to Delhi. But also remember, there is number to show that Delhi is also contributing to someone else's pollution, about 25% to Noida's pollution, for instance, right? So in this, we have to establish the accountability and responsibility of all governments in the airshed. And this also establishes the fact that continuous, and I'm glad Reena has pointed out that our study that showed that because of the work that Delhi government has done, that there has been a 25% reduction in the overall pollution over a period of time. But also, our studies also show that even after that reduction, Delhi still needs to reduce by yet another 64% to meet the clean air standard. Imagine, therefore, what is the scale of action that we still have to take within Delhi to reduce that kind of pollution. So let's identify now, yes, a lot of things have happened in Delhi. So let's identify where still some gaps are and that we have to ramp up action.
So what's the biggest gap? Is it vehicular traffic?
It's a combination today. So the three big areas where Delhi still has to do a lot more. One is the vehicular traffic. And this year is a particularly challenging because of the pandemic. We cannot intensify public transport usage because of social distancing. So the huge volume of personal vehicles is going to be a big challenge. Second big gap is the waste burning. Even so, there's we really have to scale up segregation and a proper collection of waste across the city so that the waste does not burn anywhere. And the third is that Delhi government has already issued the approved fuel list, but we have to ensure that only clean fuel is being used in all industrial units. That requires very strong surveillance.
So essentially, Delhi has done work. It has not done enough work, is what you're saying. Anupitaji, thank you very much for joining us. Reena, thank you very much. We're just a 30-minute show, so we like to keep it short and snappy. Thank you very much for your views, though. I think you've said what needed to be said right now for us to understand what exactly is going on in the national capital. We are moving on now to down south. Finally, it seems that superstar Rajinikanth is ready to launch his political party. It should happen soon, possibly ahead of the state assembly elections next year. The time frame we are being given is sometime before February 2021. Now, Rajinikanth's original plan was to have a mega state-level meet that would have attracted people from across Tamil Nadu, but that has suffered a setback because of COVID-19 pandemic-induced curbs. The pandemic may feature heavily on his agenda, with sources also suggesting that Team Rajini is already ready with launch videos. First it was February, then it was April, then it was November. Now we are being told it will be February 2020. Are we sure that this debut, this launch will come ahead of the Tamil Nadu elections?
Well, Shreya, it is possible because, as you correctly pointed out, this is an actor literally who has been hemming and hawing. He certainly has as his advantage the widespread network of mandrams, that is his fan clubs. But the real question, and it could be a disadvantage, is could these fans actually translate into voters? Or could they translate into people who could campaign and mobilize others on his behalf? And the second big question that he's going to be facing, and he has been facing for a long time, is the question of finances. Now, it is widely known that he probably lacks the deep pockets to run a campaign of his own, and therefore the question is, who will he turn to? Will it be the BJP? You're well aware of all the overtures that have happened between him and the BJP, but will they finance him and stick their neck out for someone who is an unproven and untested quantity? Maybe not.
There's been a lot of hemming and hawing as far as Rajinikanth's political debut is concerned. Do you finally think it will now happen? Because the latest date that we are being given is February 2020.
Yeah, looks like it's going to happen, but everybody's question is, how does it going to help the people of Tamil Nadu? Because see, Rajinikanth is not getting any younger anymore. He's like almost in the verge of his retirement from the film industry. And what my thoughts are, it's a little different from others. Like the Dravidian parties, whether it's DMK or ADMK, and they've been ruling for about 50+ years, and this is the number 2 states in terms of development. People might come and criticize, saying that what did actors do, or what are their contributions, etc. But still, even after 2 leading actors and 1 script writer running this state, it's been number 2. So what is that Rajinikanth going to add? Is he going to give us a honest and corruption-free kind of governance? And I mean, how does it? Is it really going to bring in any value? Because what is that we can really, bring in terms of honesty and corruption-free government? So when things are like that, so what is that we are going to, we are asking for, or the change we are looking at, or what is that Rajinikanth going to bring to the table? I don't think it's going to be a major difference which he can make. And he also mentioned that he doesn't want to be the chief minister. He would like to appoint somebody else.
Correct.
And see, we are banking on him, and let's say we are voting for him to come to power because he's a honest and decent man and a hard-working man too, and a man with a very beautiful business acumen.
This is the latest in the BJP versus Shiv Sena battle. Maharashtra's Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray says any attempts to malign and finish off the Hindi film industry or to shift it out of Mumbai will not be tolerated. He's saying that Mumbai was the only place, it's not just the country's financial capital, but it is also the entertainment capital of the country, and the film industry generates employment in the state of Maharashtra. The MNS has come out in support of the Shiv Sena and said that there has been a conspiracy to discredit Bollywood and shift the film industry out of Mumbai and to Uttar Pradesh. Let me go to Harman Gomes, who's joining us live from Mumbai on the story. Harman, what do we make of this controversy? I mean, many people would say, A, Uddhav Thackeray's statement is premature. B, why is he feeling insecure if the Uttar Pradesh government is setting up a massive film city in Gautam Budh Nagar, where our offices are based as well? I mean, where is this coming from? Where is this insecurity coming from?
Well, I think it's the insecurity between the former two allies, that is the Shiv Sena as well as the BJP, because yesterday for the first time you had a statement coming in from the Chief Minister's office saying that Bollywood was being maligned. There was a conspiracy of shifting the Hindi film industry out of Mumbai to elsewhere, and this will not be tolerated. Followed that by today the NCP Minister Nawab Malik saying that Bollywood is being defamed. We will not be allowing the Hindi film industry to move out. This comes on the backdrop of the Chief Minister of UP having announced that there is the biggest film city in India ever created would be set up in Noida. Furthermore, also stating that there would be certain sort of incentives, and the first feature film will be shot there in 2021. He really hasn't spoken saying that the Hindi film industry needs to be moved out of Mumbai. In fact, there are several other cities in India that also have such similar film cities, such as the Ramoji film city that you have in Andhra Pradesh. So as far as the associations are concerned that work in Bollywood, such as Sinta, for example, what they say is that this is just an extension of their work ecosystem. Filmmakers would like to try and see in case if there are certain sort of better incentives that would be offered by the UP government, but no talks as such of moving entirely. Now, as far as the local BJP is concerned, there is a local leader here by the name Amarjit Mishra, who had worked as a vice president previously during the Devendra Fadnavis government in one of the film bodies that were set up by the then government. He says a lot of money was sanctioned to the tune of 2,000 crore plus rupees. Nothing happened. And in case if this Mahavikas Agadi government doesn't utilize it, filmmakers will move elsewhere. So yes, one really doesn't know from where did this idea pop up, but some sort of insecurity between the two former allies.
Okay, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. There are political reactions coming into the story. Let's take a listen to that.
मुंबई और महाराष्ट्र की सरकार को और बॉलीवुड को बदनाम करने का काम किया जा रहा है, लेकिन जो लोग उत्तर प्रदेश में बॉलीवुड बनाने का सपना देख रहे हैं, 2 दिन पहले सरेआम भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेताओं ने जनता पे गोली चलाई। जहां महिला सुरक्षित नहीं, आम आदमी सुरक्षित नहीं, वहां बॉलीवुड बनेगा ये सपना अगर कोई देख रहा है तो उसमें कोई भी तथ्य नहीं। और मुख्यमंत्री ने कहा है जो बॉलीवुड को बदनाम करने की कोशिश करेगा उससे कड़ाई से निपटेंगे।
ऐसा है कि कौन बर्दाश्त करने को कह रहा है और कौन बॉलीवुड को बर्बाद करने की बात कर रहा है। रही बात किसी नशेड़ी को पकड़ने की, किसी हत्या में शामिल हो क्योंकि वो बिहार का बेटा है तो उस हत्या की जांच भी ना हो, ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन और कानून के खिलाफ है। सुशांत बिहार का बेटा था लेकिन महाराष्ट्र की उसकी कर्म भूमि थी। अगर उद्धव ठाकरे जी ने पहले दिन ही गंभीरता ली होती, वहां की सरकार ने गंभीरता ली होती, तो ये काम सीबीआई को या बिहार सरकार को ना करना पड़ता।
Mr. Tahil, is there any harm if UP tries and sets up an alternate film city to give film producers, directors, actors an alternative to Mumbai?
No, there's absolutely not. In fact, I compliment and I applaud the UP government, and in particular, the Chief Minister, Shri Aditya Yoginath ji, for Yogi Adityanath ji, for creating a film industry. For already there were a lot of subsidies in UP. UP is a beautiful state. There are lots of wonderful locations, and I'm in my humble opinion, it will be very good if the UP government can set up a place where we do post-production infrastructure so that people can go to UP and shoot, do the film, everything under one roof. हम तो बहुत पहले से कह रहे हैं यूपी गवर्नमेंट को कि कुछ बनाइए आप वहाँ पर नगरी, ताकि हम पूरा काम करके आए वहाँ पर और हमें भी सहूलत हो.
A quick look at what else is making news across the country. India's COVID-19 tally case has climbed to 73 lakhs, with 63,371 fresh cases being reported in the last 24 hours. Again, 895 deaths have been reported in the last 1 day. Active cases are now at 8,45,028 and recoveries are at 6 lakh plus. Yesterday, there were 1 lakh plus samples that were tested for COVID-19. The BJP on Thursday named Olympian Yogeshwar Dutt as its candidate for the upcoming high-stake Baroda Assembly by-poll that is scheduled for November 3rd. Dutt, who contested his maiden political battle against the Congress three-time MLA Shri Krishna Huda, had lost by a thin margin of over 5,000 votes in the 2019 Assembly elections. And this could be some good news. There's been a rise in sales in the automobile industry that is giving hope amidst this festive season. A growth of 28.92% has been registered in the sales of passengers' cars in September 2020 as compared to September 2019, which means last year. Sales of two-wheelers have grown by 11.64%. With that, it's a wrap from me. Thanks for watching.